Maslow's theory has been greatly acknowledged amongst many managers in finding ways to motivate their employees. Having said that, it's a very simple, straightforward model. We can see it in terms of our 5 steps, and movement to the next level means the completion of the previous level, and so on. So it's a very straightforward model to understand, and clearly the issues addressed can be recognized within the working environment. Clearly the workers will need adequate remuneration and compensation for going to work so that they can pay their household bills and so on. Clearly that's a most basic need, and that's the equivalent to the physiological need that we can see in other contexts. But it's not really an empirical model, as I said earlier. It's one, however, managers can recognize, and it's an easy one to carry around with us, an easy one to understand. However, there have been studies carried out which do not support the model. Some suggest that there are all sorts of issues, some of which we've talked about in this video. For example, not all the stages are equally weighted. Not all the stages are important. Not all the phases in the model, the 5 phases, are equally important. And it could also be that there's retrogression. People move to one level and then move back, and have to move back because insecurity issues further back may cause an issue, or remuneration may fall over a longer period, and so on. And they'll find that they are constantly moving up a step and down a step and so on. So it can be somewhat more sophisticated and more complicated as a consequence. There is a lack of scientific support, but this is the first theory that people are exposed to. It's one that we come across immediately when we consider motivation in the business area, business and management area. It's a fundamental model. It is a neat model. It does offer us some insight into motivation. It's just that we have to treat it somewhat more sophisticatedly. We have to realize, as I said earlier, not all the stages in the hierarchy are equal. There is movement upwards and downwards. It's difficult to test the model empirically. It's difficult to perform scientific tests on the model. And different stages have to be recognized by individuals as being complete before they move on. And not all individuals can recognize when stages are complete. So it is much more complicated than it looks. But at the same time, it does offer us a very good opening introduction to motivation within organizations. So that's all we'll talk about in this session, so let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.